We are going to move to step 4, and that's where we're going to be adding color to our hand. And this is our hand drawing that we have created inside of our Procreate. But we need our texture chart. We need to save that first. So we're going to tap on that. We're going to save it to our Google Drive by hitting the wrench, share, JPEG, and export. And you're going to go into Google Drive. And when you get to this spot here where it says Untitled, you want to change that to Textures so that it's easy to find. Okay. And then select your folder, My Drive, your artwork folder, save here, and upload. And that should put it in your Google Drive. So once we're back here to the gallery, we want to open up our hand that we worked on. And this next part is kind of difficult. So what we want to do is we want to press and push up. See that little arrow that popped up right there? And what we're trying to do is pull up this menu. And it might take you a couple times to get it. It took me a couple times. And so then you want to click the folder. And it should bring you to your Google Drive. If not, open up Google Drive and then find your art folder. And then you're going to scroll down till you see the word textures. That will be your texture chart. And there's mine right there. And I'm going to open it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Procreate and hold it. Oh, do that again. Wait till it wiggles a little bit. And drag it off to the side here. Okay, so now I have my hand on this side and my chart on this side. And remember, we're going to be using this chart to decide what's going to be going on here. So turn on your layers, and remember each layer, the number one layer is your actual sketch. So you can actually turn that off. You're not going to need that anymore. Layer 2 is actually the layer that your drawing is on, that you drew. And you don't want to put color on that layer. So add another layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and color drop my color into each section, and I'm going to create a layer for each one of those sections. Okay, so for my thumb, let's see, layer 3. So for my thumb, I'm going to choose black because that's what's right here. I'm just going with what I chose before, and I'm going to drop that here. Uh-oh, what does that mean? Right? If you guess that I don't have my reference turned on, you are correct. So that's going to be on layer 2. Remember, layer 1 is our sketch. That's not important, so we need to be on layer 2, and we're going to turn on the reference. All right, so now when I go back to 3, layer 3, and drag it, that's what I get. All right, so I'm going to add another layer. And this time I'm going to add the red background. And try to get as close as you can get to. Sometimes this gets stuck. All right, here we go. Get as close to the color that you chose before. If not, that's fine too. So I'm going to stop right here, and you can pause the video. And so what I want you to do is to go in and in each section, fill in color drop. So you should have 8 sections, excuse me, 9, 3, 6, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Color drop into those areas. And I will be back. All right, so I have color dropped in each layer, and each layer is an individual color. So for right now, we want to make sure that we turn on the auto lock. Now, if you take 3 fingers and you slide to the right, you'll see that checkerboard show up. You can do it that way, or you can tap and turn on Alpha Lock that way. I'm starting to get pretty good with the Alpha Lock. Oops, I just did something. Okay, here we go. Alpha Lock, all the way down. And when you have a problem with it, you can always tap and choose Alpha Lock. Okay, so there we go. So we do not turn that on our reference, okay? We do not have Alpha Lock turned on for there. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a layer for the background and the earth. So add a layer. And for the background, I think I want kind of a darkish blue. Uh-oh, what happened there? Okay, so I'm going to undo because something happened. There we go. All right, so there we go. Come up here to this one and then add a layer. And now do the background sky. A little lighter. Okay, so drag it here. If any of this floods into the area down here, that means some of your lines are not connected somewhere. So make sure to go down to layer 2 is actually where the drawing is. Remember, layer 1 is our sketch, and we have that turned off. Okay, so now I'm going to come down and do my earth, and I'm going to do that a traditional greenish color, maybe a little dark green. And I'm going to shrink my picture just a little bit so I can see the whole thing here. And there we go. And then I'm going to create one more layer, and that's going to be the inside of the earth. And I'm going to do that one probably kind of a reddish, brownish color. Okay. So I'm going to make that really big. Uh-oh. So I need to make sure I'm getting into each little area here. So you want to increase your size. Makes it easier to color drop. Okay, and then I'll come over here and work on this side, and I'll be right back. So the next step is that now we're going to pull our textures and put them inside of our actual drawing here. And so we have the name of the actual folder, and then the brush is listed here at the bottom. So you're going to be referring to your texture chart right here. So I'm going to go to my layer that has the thumb, and that's layer 3. And I'm going to go to my brush, and I need to go to textures, decimals. So I'm going to come down and look at textures, decimals, and pick that. Now I can change the color. I'm going to change the color to white, and because that's what I have on my example, but you can do something different. And then I'm going to come here, and I'm going to notice I'm going out of the lines, and that's okay because I have Alpha Lock turned on. I can even go over into this area here, and it's not going to do anything. So there we go. All right, so then my next step is the red finger. So I'm going to go there, and the brush there is textures wood. So I'm in textures, choose wood, and then I'm going to change the color to a green, maybe a bright green. There we go. And then do the wood. It's pretty cool, huh? Then I'm going to move to my orange finger. And my orange finger is abstract polygon, abstract polygons. Okay, and that looks like I used a purple for that one, so I'm going to come right here and come in here, and I'm pressing kind of hard on the screen just to give it a little bit more visual effect. Okay, and you can't really see it with this camera, but it's really nice. It turned out really nice. So I'm going to move to the next one. That's my green finger, and that one is Touch Up Zombie Skin. Okay, so I'm going to go Touch Up Zombie Skin, choose that. I'm going to choose the color to a, you know what, I think I want to do like an orangish red. Okay, and then come in here and scrub away. And then that's the zombie skin. So I'm going to pause right here for you to go ahead and continue through the different layers that you need to work through. And then when I'm finished, I will be back. So I have finished filling in my hand with all of the textures, and I can tell you right now, this camera is not doing it justice. It looks so much better in person. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a texture to my background layer and to my earth. I'm not going to add a texture in here because these lines create a texture for inside the earth, but I am going to put a texture here and here, and I will be back. Okay, so I've chosen my background layer. I should have made 2 layers, one for the green, one for the blue, but I did not. So I'm on layer, my background layer here, and I'm going to go to my brush, and I'm going to go to Elements and choose the cloud feature, and just kind of roll around a little bit, and uh-oh, that went over my finger. Did you see that? Let me undo. Okay, so let me check my backgrounds. Alpha lock is not turned on. Okay, so now we can come here and we can go behind the hand, as you see me doing there. And I put clouds in the background. Looks pretty cool, huh? And then for the earth, I think I'm going to do something, let's see, organic. I like the paper daisy. And I'm going to choose a green, just a lighter green, really light, and then come in here and add a little bit of texture. I have to be careful because this is on the same layer. It's not alpha locked. Remember, the sky and ground, I did both on the same layer, and this is where we run into a problem, because then when I go to add textures, I have to be really careful. Okay, awesome. That looks great. So now you're probably wondering, how do I close these 2 screens? So that little line right there, you press on it and move over, and then that will close your Google file. Now what we need to do is we need to save this as a JPEG if we are ready to turn it in. So we're going to go to the wrench. We're going to save it as a JPEG. Go to Google Drive. Choose your name. Now we need to change this file name. Okay, so this file name needs to be texture. Oops, let me go back. Texture final. So you'll know that's the one to turn in. Choose your folder, your drive, your artwork, and then save here and upload. And then you're going to attach this to your Google assignment and turn it in.